A little story about us going. We took vans. Jeff had a Ford van that he put the bass gear and his two Marshall stacks in there, and the sound guy Jesse Sampson and the light guy and Danny and Jeff would ride in one van, and me and Dean and Zoo Crew, Taylor and Sean and actually this guy named Bill, the first one, and Blaine went with us, and the guy that designed the T-shirts and sold the T-shirts. And we left about midnight, planning on getting to San Francisco at noon the next day. It's a 12-hour drive. Well, the tires were horrible, so I went to get some tires and got some used tires that they put on, and I came back. I emptied the van of Dean's drums, and he had like 3 gongs and this 26-piece drum kit. It cut down substantially by the next time we went to San Francisco, which was about uh, 4 or 5 weeks later. But I went to get a trailer that I'd reserved a month ahead of time. And of course, oh, we don't have one. Do you have my reservation? Yeah, we got your reservation, but we just don't have a trailer. It's like, I got really angry. I yelled so loud that I blew my voice out, so I couldn't talk. This was before we left in the afternoon on the day before, the day of the midnight that we left. I drove the whole 12 hours. And I didn't do that again. And because I'd been to San Francisco a number of times to visit Kip Doran. That's when I saw Motorhead, Mike Landauer, Mick Zane from Malice. We went to Santa Rosa and spent the weekend. Went to the city and saw Squeeze, and I saw a sign that said Motorhead's Monday. So we're coming back. So we came back. So it was like, oh, that was no problem. But anyway, uh, we did the gig. And oh man, we were parked on Broadway, waiting to load in because you couldn't load in till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But we got there at noon, and when we pulled up there, there was this carload load of tourists for senior citizens in Hawaiian shirts had parked ahead of us, and they opened the door. And Broadway, if you've ever been to San Francisco, where the Stone is, there's no place to turn around. And until you got to go all the way to the tunnel, pretty much. All the streets on the side are tight turns, and they're about like this steep, 90-degree angles. And this truck came by and took the doors off of this car. And the looks on the people's faces when they got out, because the door went with the truck, it was just stun-o-matic, man. The truck couldn't stop. We all got out on the other side, on the curbside, but that was crazy. Yeah, and we got back in the van, and I drove all the way home too. So, and I discovered the lovely bagel dogs at the Quick Mart that we stayed by the place where we stayed. I love those things. They don't make them anymore, but the best $1.50 you'll ever spend on a hot dog and a bagel. So, hey, visit usmetal.com and check the bands link. There's banners for everything. There's a banner for the bands, and I've done stuff with like 15 bands, and there's all the stories are there. There's a video story for every band, and one for every lineup with the Wild Dogs that I've had. We did our final gig in Seattle in March 2018, and that was my third lineup with Robert Robinson and Troy Stutzman. We went to Germany and played the Headbangers Open Air Festival and 2 other big things while we were there. And I went back the next year, and they had a band for me. So Germany, as you can see, this tattoo, that's a German flag because they were so loyal to me. I love Germany. I love schnitzel too, but I've met friends over there that I are friends with today. So anyway, usmetal.com. I'm Matt McCourt. Fat Matt, as my bandmates called me to try to shame me into losing weight. I just adopted it and had everybody I knew call me that, but they didn't realize I knew that they were calling me that. But hey, I'm a spy kind of guy, right? I know everything. So, Fat Matt, right here in the flesh. I had this thing called Bell's palsy. It happened to me June a year ago. It's really tedious. I'm tired of this shit not working, man, because I used to talk my ass off. I still do, but now it sounds like I'm a gimp, so oh well. Hey, I'll just keep on doing it. Andrew Dice Clay got the same thing, and so did Clive Davis, so I'm in good company. And there's no cure, no cause, and weirdest thing ever. Didn't expect that, did I? Well, no. I've done 839 cable access and YouTube videos since I've had this. So I'm unstoppable. Cheers, and thank you, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.